Hey everyone, this is a trader investor, and in today's video I'm going to go over what the markets are doing this morning as the cash market opened for this week's trading. This is Monday, April 19th, 2021. So I'm just going to go over what my expectations are, where I'm looking for entries, and what I'm looking at for my next moves, my next steps. So let's start with SPY. So SPY, looking at the hourly chart, I'm looking at a bullish trend. It's an uptrend, but I see some potential liquidity on this uptrend because we've been touching it a couple of times. And what happened today is price came down to that liquidity area, cleared it and reversed. I don't know what it wants to do yet, because my bias, as you know, my bias is we're going to have a pullback sometime soon, because we've been making lower highs on my oscillator, and price has been making higher highs in SPY. I'm expecting some rollover. Last week we had gone over the same thing. I was expecting that rollover, but the very next day price reversed. So I don't enter positions until I have confirmation of the rollover, and confirmation comes in the form of lower highs. So we have these highs here. We have a high here followed by a low here. So my expectation is price to give me a lower high and break, because we've already cleared this liquidity. I'm not too concerned about this being a liquidity area where price manipulation occurs. I believe that manipulation has already occurred. People had gone short here and they got taken care of. Their stops are wiped out, and anybody who had gone long on a very short time frame, who had gone long, their stops have been cleared. So the manipulation has already taken place here. So I'm expecting a lower high to be followed by a downside. That's my expectation for the rollover to finalize. And I normally do not draw order blocks on the hourly chart, but I wanted to do it today for one purpose. As we do our analysis, it's always good to be nimble, and it's as we are nimble, what I wanted to do, what I was looking at, is as price opened with a gap down, try to clear that gap, try to close it. It did not have the strength to close that gap. That was my expectation on the 15 minutes. I was looking at breaking the high of this range. I was looking at a close above this high, for us to continue to close this gap. That was my expectation, but instead we went lower. And so as I was looking at the 15 minutes chart, and price just all of a sudden in 1 15 minutes just went down, then I went to the hourly and decided to draw the order block to see where could price potentially stop, and where could we see a reversal, a break of structure of the hourly, or even a break of structure of the 15 minutes. Either one works. A break of structure in the 15 minutes meaning so my expectation is bullish, but we have this divergence in the hourly that could bring price down. So we have a lower high from this high, and we keep making a lower low. So if we are not able to, so there's two structures that need to be maintained. If we can go this way, meaning we don't break these highs, so that's one expectation, to continue to go down. But the other is the break of structure of this pullback. Break of structure of this pullback means we form a high higher than these, preferably higher than these, a higher low and continue up, and this will be a signal that this pullback is over. Similar to we didn't see a clear break of structure here. We didn't see that clear break of structure because we had a gap up, right? This gap up took care of that break of structure. So here, when we see multiple highs taken out, this high taken out, this high taken out, this high taken out, and this high almost taken out at that gap open, I'm very comfortable to go long at the break of the range here, to go long and, you know, keep making new highs. So now where we're sitting is we have these lower highs, we have lower lows. So I want to see what this price does, right? Rollover is coming. I'm not forcing that rollover to come. The idea is not to force it, but let the charts bring it to me. So two ways that could happen is I have drawn it a few minutes ago. We could break this lows, right? Keep continuing to do this. And my expectation, if we do that, is the 410 area. We will reach the 410 area, or we break structure saying we are done pulling back. We break structure and we go long. So either side is a possibility, and we're waiting for those possibilities to occur. Because we don't want to be glued to charts, this is why we are able to just capitalize on these moves based on break of structure or based on strengths of existing structure. Strengths meaning in a pullback, we want to see a little bit of weakness to show the strengths, and we enter at that weakness. So always enter at the weakness. If it's a bear market, weakness meaning a rally. If it's a bull market, weakness meaning a pullback. So at this moment here, we're at a junction. We're at a junction where we are in a zone. Multiple zones are meeting together. We have a shorter term trend line, we have this monthly trend line, and we have this hourly order block. All of these are coming together. So now I want to see which way are we breaking. Is this order block a strong one? Are we going to hold it? Are these trend lines strong enough to hold it? You see, as you can see, this bar here at 7:45 Pacific time, we had gone below it, and anybody who has gone short is stopped out, and it looks like anybody who has taken that maybe as a long here could be stopped out, and this could be the final push to clear that manipulation if the lower time frames have not already taken care of it. I don't look at the lower time frames, I just want to see what price is doing. So break of structure here or strengths to continue to go down. And if we look at the Qs, similar thing. We are showing some weakness. We are at an area of value. I'll go to the hourly here. We are at an area of value, and we are coming close to an hourly order block. I want to see how we compromise that space. And if we zoom out, we have this longer term daily order block, but we're in a good uptrend. We're in a good uptrend, but we have our divergence in the hourly chart. We have our divergence on the oscillator, so that is again another sign that Qs could also be rolling over. So we have a high. I want to see a lower high formed to try to at least target this order block. A good entry would be we have a lower high, and as we break some space here that we enter, that would be a good area. If it's a very short one, this would be what we want to break as confirmation, but this doesn't give me enough distance, so I might not enter it there. I might want to see what price does once it enters the order block, if it reverses. And if this order block is strong enough, it will definitely reverse. And in the SPY so far, that's what it looks like. But we are only going to know once we get the confirmation. IWM is showing some weakness. A couple of times I've already gone over the accumulation phase here. So we have our buying climax, our AR, our test here. So if we break this zone, it could be terminal shakeout, or if we really break it, and come and retest that area and price goes down, so that test becomes our strong hold. So this is our safest entry. This would be a very safe, very safe E3 entry as a downside targeting this liquidity. So that's a possibility if this is a distribution. We never know, right? We never know until we get the confirmation. We either get this or we get this, right? Either side confirms whether this is a distribution or an accumulation. That's what we want to look at in the IWM. So patience is really critical. And finally, let's look at the diamonds. Diamonds are weak again, just like the broader market is really weak. And diamonds are consolidating right now. This last few hours is just we're into a consolidation. I want to see where that breaks. I want to see where structure takes us. This one here, we have a short-term trend line. I want to see how we break that trend line, but it's similar in all cases. What makes diamonds a little different, and I'll show you, I think it's easier seen on the daily chart, is we have this trend line that was broken to the upside, and it is possible we could come and retest this trend line. So that weakness that we see is actually a healthy weakness, because we want a good buying opportunity. The reason why I like to wait for area of value, we're not trying to scalp, we're trying to capture these big moves. These big moves will occur once we get a pullback to a good solid area of value, which could be a trend line, which could be an order block, confluence of those two. Once we get to that area of value, we see a break of structure in the lower time frame, which is the 1 hour for me, then we are able to go long. So we are waiting, patiently waiting for all of these markets to decide what they want to do. This week is showing some weakness, meaning we are starting off on the on a low note, but nothing major. As you can see, just a tiny bit of a pullback, unless we see like on a daily basis. If we break structure on a daily basis, wow, watch out, because if we break all of this and we're not able to continue to hold this upward structure, if we make lower highs and break that area, then the next order block is my stop. So we could go to the 390, somewhere 385 to 390 area in the next couple of weeks. That's a very possible scenario, a really possible scenario. So let's just take a look at that and consider what we want to do next. So this is the 4 markets I wanted to look at today, and patiently waiting for our entries. Take care, everyone, and don't forget to click that like button, because that's my encouragement to keep doing this again and again. And I will see you on the next video.